massive, but it
Back
originally started.
then, superheroes were a big risk.
Exactly. It wasn't like a
X-Men were risks. Remember
Yeah,
that
no, that's true.
Fox was ashamed of X-Men. Fox did not want the X-Men to wear color. They wanted them to wear all black leather. Raimi went, no, bright red and blue, bright colors, bright green.
Well, it's funny though because the X-Men, I feel like it's different. It's because not only they were kind of afraid of going for the crazy colors. Like this is, I think that was called like the superhero renaissance where Batman and Robin happened not too long ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they really needed to be the complete opposite of that. So
Yeah.
but not only that, the Matrix, the first one came out like a year ago, and the Matrix kind of redefined uh, the idea of cool. Cool means the black leather
Yeah.
everywhere, and everyone tried to do that. Even I mean, Blade, it's kind of Blade has already been that.
Yeah, Blade
So-
kind of has that aesthetic anyways. So,
Right, but it utilized, but it kind of took advantage of that. It was like perfect timing for Blade.
yeah.
But X-Men did the same thing, and I mean personally, it worked. Like the costumes, they're their own thing. It doesn't feel like classic X-Men, but they at the time they really couldn't do anything else.
Also,
But it
also,
didn't- huh?
also thing with the X-Men, if having like a bunch of like really bright colors would make it so like cartoony and all, and I mean,
Well,
I think-
cartoony's fine.
But
It just
I think
wouldn't work for
X-Men
that
Evolution
story.
was going out at the same time, no? X-Men Evolution.
Yes.
So yeah, at the same like why have a live action literally of the same thing that's coming out in better format instead of making
Well-
it like revamping it into a more, I guess, grounded version of it.
Well, basically that means that you just have like two different versions of the same source material happening consequently at the same time. So
It's like, I mean, like
it-
Hugh Jackman. I mean, like Wolverine's small, and he casted a 6'2"
Yeah.
buff dude, buff Australian dude. You know what I mean? Like it's very different.
Right.
So-
yeah, I guess they were prioritizing different traits about
Yeah.
the characters, but I mean, people loved Wolverine. That's why
That
the
worked really well.
Yeah.
Jackman is a great Wolverine. I will.
despite his height, like
Well,
I mean,
exactly.
you forget about that,
because
Forget
when
about that. His acting, he can embody that. The
Yeah.
savage.
yeah, I think that's why also that's really torturous is like sort of like he didn't really want to stay at Wolverine forever because it's like such a like heavy character to bear.
Well, I think he wanted that character to have a send off at least. He
Well, yeah,
wanted that. He
Logan
he
asked
suffered
good.
enough. He suffered
Logan
enough.
was good.
Logan
Yeah.
for Old Man Logan to be adapted, and
Um,
I'm glad they adapted what they did and they didn't keep it as is
Yeah.
because
Yeah, too bad. It
No,
was
that
the
would have
last.
been insane.
Yo, that would have been so crazy, bro. Yo, crazy Hulk eating, yo.
Incest Hulk and his incest babies eating Logan's family. That's terrible.
That would have been R-rated for sure.
Absolutely. And you know how that story ends? Incest Hulk child eats Wolverine, and then days later, Wolverine
When it
bursts
comes
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Out
I
the
feel
comic.
like you know what? Maybe within the context, it might be consistent with the rest of the tone, but I feel like 20th Century Fox haven't established that tone. It
Yeah.
might have. I don't. No.
I
No.
mean, to be fair, 20th Century Fox already got bought by Disney, so they just said, "Yeah, fuck it, we're gonna go out with a bang."
Yeah, no.
It's like,
They did. They really did.
yeah, they did with Dark Phoenix there, but
Oh.
Oh no.
I couldn't even finish that one because it was.
I've never tried to watch that movie.
hey, yeah, that's just hilarious.
I mean,
but-
Dark Phoenix mix X-Men: The Last Stand looked like a masterpiece.
Incredible.
yo, that
it's-
sound was crazy good.
No, like it's actually offensive because I mean, obviously, if you're gonna have a second go at like the Dark Phoenix saga. That means that you're at least gonna try to make it better.
Yeah,
Right.
But honestly, I mean, I kind of, to be honest, I kind of also grew up on X-Men 3, X-Men: The Last Stand. I kind of had like the best theater experience for it.
yeah.
Like so again, X-Men, the second X-Men film, I also grew up on it. I also rewatched it like a bunch of
Okay.
times. But I never, that was at the time when I never really knew about like sequels. I never waited for a sequel. It's like I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember randomly, it was like 3 days after my birthday because the movie came out on May 26th or something. And I'm just watching TV, and my dad comes in. He's like, "Yo, there's a third X-Men movie in theaters right now," and I'm like, excuse me, what? And he's like, yeah,
can't.
no, for real. And apparently, like on LCN or some shit, they're like playing the trailer, and we're watching the trailer, and he's like, they went, yeah, let's go watch it. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, all right. I have, and so basically, I have seen no trailers for
Yeah.
X-Men 3. So everything's going to, it's, I've never had this before. So I have no idea what to expect. I don't know that Jean's gonna come back. I don't know. So when Jean comes out of that lake, long hair, she looks fucking amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa, this is.
She comes in like a boss, killing everybody and shit. First thing he
Well,
does.
see, honestly,
How do you feel about Cyclops?
well, so this movie, so I mean, when I saw it, I kind of loved it because to me that was what it was supposed to be, but also it was kind of like the first movie that made me realize that special effects are made by computers. Because the whole scene where the house is being destroyed, I was thinking like, how did they do that? That was like the first time where I thought an effect looked like you can't do this practically.
Well, actually, funny enough, with what was it? I think it was Apocalypse. They actually blew up the house and had a rig go through it real quickly.
Oh yeah, that the whole Quicksilver sequence.
Yeah, the Quicksilver scene. That was practical. So
right. But the thing about X-Men: The Last Stand is like it made things that were like visually, I think it was insane. Like the thing that I really liked about the Phoenix, which and not a lot of people talk about this, is that like in the comics, apparently the Phoenix is like an entity from space.
Yeah.
That came in Jean and stuff, and I thought that's kind of, I mean,
Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah, in a way, like sure, I get it. It's a comic book and stuff, but at the same time, it feels like kind of a super big coincidence that your space entity that's like super strong and wants to destroy the world just so happens to possess the mutant who has like telekinesis powers. So
no,
I think
it's not a coincidence.
Like I bet like what she looked for her or something like she was,
he was looking for a strong telepath.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for that world, for for that X-Men story, I think I like the idea that the Phoenix was always inside of her, and that it was like another, and they kind of played around like the split personality thing.
Yeah.
So like Jean, she does like this freaky thing where she's having a conversation with Wolverine, and then suddenly she goes like, "Where am I? What's happening?" It's like, "Oh crap! Oh, this is like she's being suppressed, and she's this is tough to watch." Like at some point, she even says like, kill me before I kill someone else. It's terrible, and her performance is actually great.
Yeah, that's a very if we look, I like the idea of tackling almost the Phoenix as a mental disorder.
Yep, they really did that. They literally did that.
That makes the end so weird. Because it says, like, what do you do with people with mental disorders?
Oh,
you put them out
God,
of their misery.
No. Fucking toss them out, bro. You fucking Wolverine claws their ass.
Kind of problematic as fuck. But
no, but I mean, that's people reading into it, though. That's people reading into it.
It doesn't, like, frame Wolverine as being right for doing it, which, fair enough. I think Wolverine feels great pain when he does it. And he has PTSD in the movies that follow, like in the Wolverine. He has a whole like.
I mean, even Logan.
He thinks he's having sex with her, and he's like, "Oh no, PTSD."
Right, but at the same time, it's like at that point, what else are you gonna do? Because
right,
I mean, it's she's not stopping because aside from that, you don't really see. She doesn't seem to have any weaknesses. She just stands there ominously, wreaking havoc. And it's like, all right, nothing's gonna really. I mean, aside from Wolverine, you can't talk her. You can't talk her through this. She's just gonna keep. Well, I mean, at the end, you can see that she's starting to slip out. She's like, save me and whatever. But no, people are still getting disintegrated. Yeah. The island is like no longer an island. It's just her power's just going amok. So what else are you gonna do? The Phoenix can't be stopped. But again, just to talk about like how they represented her. I like how her powers it doesn't look like magic. It still looks like a new like a genetic mutation. Like her eyes don't glow fiery like in the comics. Her
Scarlet Witch style, fucking red eyes. Everywhere.
I thought, her eyes go pitch black, and it kind of makes her eyes look like like bird eyes, like full black
Yeah.
pupils.
Yeah,
It
it
gave
looks
her
like
like good like traits. I like
Yeah.
that, like her like all of her veins on her face are starting to be like exposed. It just looked like a genetic mutation that went wrong and was like amplified instead of looking like a casual superpower. And the other thing, like they didn't give her the firebird that appears behind her when she does her power, but whenever she uses her powers, she's like backlit. So when her hair is flying, there's
Yeah.
always like this
So they
ring
still
of light
visually
around her.
created,
Yeah.
Exactly. So I thought, all right, if you're gonna go for like grounded, subtle, but still be flashy and crazy, that's the way to do it. But no one's gonna say that because the rule in the fan community in the fandom is to say that X-Men 3 was pure garbage. Like you, even if there's something good in it, you can't. Oh, and also the this movie has the best X-Men music out of the whole franchise.
Well,
Like
yeah,
the score